in the dead of night, where the forgotten lie and the restless stir. One man walks the boundary between the living and the lost. He is known as the Gravedigger, caretaker of the forsaken, keeper of the untold, a witness to horrors buried by time. These stories are not meant for the light of day. They are chronicles pulled from the cold, dead, rotting soil of the past. Each grave tells a story, a tale of terror, betrayal, and madness, or sometimes something far worse. So light your lantern and tread carefully. Prepare yourself to uncover what should have stayed buried. Welcome to the Gravedigger's Dark Chronicles. Now your host, the Gravedigger himself.
Welcome to the Gravedigger's Chronicles, where the stories we bury don't always stay in the ground. They call me the Gravedigger, but I've worn more titles than most men have excuses. Soldier, prisoner, father, loser. But this job, it's different. Come along now and pull up a stone or stump. You know I've dug graves for bodies, others for secrets. And once in a while, not often, but enough to lose sleep, I find something clawing its way back up. Tonight, I bring you a tale I didn't just hear. I felt it. Like coal dust in the lungs, it lingers. A tale from the rusted, forgotten arteries of the old Pennsylvania rail lines. A story of vanished trains, of dead passengers, and the cursed whistle that calls them back. You might think you know the dangers of traveling alone at night. But let me ask you something. What if it's not you doing the traveling? What if the ride comes to you? So light your lantern and keep it close. This is a tale I like to call Whistle in the Fog, the last ride of number 109. Jack Mercer wasn't the kind of man you'd notice in a crowd. Late 50s, corduroy jackets with elbow patches. Lived in a single-bedroom rental in Westmoreland County, 2 floors above a laundromat that ran all night. He wrote freelance. Dusty little articles about antique firearms, old railway hubs, and obscure Civil War skirmishes. Jack didn't make much money. But he wasn't after money. He was after the truth, or rather, pieces of it. Forgotten truths. The kind of time swallows and history books refuse to mention. Last October, just as the leaves started dying, Jack got a letter. A real one. Envelope yellow as old teeth. The kind of parchment that had no place in the modern world. The postmark was smeared, like the machine had choked on it. No return address. Inside, a single brittle sheet of paper. Typed, not printed. Typewritten, it said, "Find the tracks north of Harlow Junction. When the fog rolls in, wait by the signal house. You'll hear the whistle, but do not board. You won't come back." That was it. No signature, no sender. Jack's hands trembled when he held it, because he'd heard of Harlow Junction before. A whisper from history, buried under footnotes. The official story goes like this. In the fall of 1924, a passenger train, Locomotive 109, departed from a small mountain station heading east. It was a night train. A thick fog rolled in, but that was common in the region. Still, somewhere between Harlow Junction and a switchyard near Eddington, the train vanished. Not derailed, no explosion. It was not found at the bottom of a ravine, vanished. No wreckage, no bodies, no luggage, no trace. People whispered for years. Some said the conductor had gone mad. Others blamed bootleggers hijacking the train and hiding the evidence in an abandoned mine shaft. A few swore it was cursed. But the most persistent rumor was that every October, when the fog is thickest, you can still hear it. Somewhere in the woods, the whistle of the ghost train, calling. Jack couldn't let it go. He pulled out his grandfather's war map, traced the old Pennsylvania lines, and found what little remained of Harlow Junction. It was no longer on any GPS, just a vague depression in the woods, at the end of a road that stopped pretending to be paved 5 miles back. He packed a small canvas bag, flashlight, notebook, a recorder, sandwiches wrapped in wax paper, a thermos of black coffee, and an old revolver with 2 bullets. He didn't expect to use it. He just liked the weight of it in his coat. He arrived at dusk. The depot was a skeleton. A one-moon station half swallowed by ivy and thyme. The platform had rotted through. Rails lay sunken into the earth like old scars. Next to it, a rusted signal house with shattered windows, the wind whining through broken panes. Fog pulled low and slow, curling around the tracks like smoke from a dying fire. And then, the whistle, thin, distant, but clear. Jack's breath caught in his throat. Another blast of the whistle, closer now. It wasn't the sound of modern machinery. It was old, hollow, like something blowing through a rusted lung. And then he saw it. The engine lights glowing an eerie green. No rhythmic clatter, just a long, dark shape sliding silently through the mist. The rails didn't rattle. The ground didn't shake. Jack stood frozen as the train stopped, precisely in front of him. Car after car, blackened with soot, crusted in rust, the windows opaque. The number 109 faintly etched in the side of the engine, as if time had tried to erase it and failed. With a soft creak, the door slid open. No conductor. No footsteps. Just cold air spilling out, heavy as iron. Jack remembered what the letter said. Do not board. But there's something about curiosity. It eats at a man. Worse than hunger. Worse than guilt. He stepped inside. The air was wrong. Not just cold. Dead. The lights flickered overhead. Dull green glows that didn't seem connected to any wire or flame. Like trapped moonlight. The aisle stretched ahead, impossibly long. Every seat was occupied. Men in tweed jackets, women in cloche hats and fox fur, children in sailor suits. Their skin was pale, stretched thin over hollow bones, their faces frozen mid-expression. Some in terror, others in resignation, and yet they were breathing. Not deeply, not naturally, but with tiny, wheezing intakes. Like bellows left running long after the fire died. None of them moved. Until one did. A woman, mourning veil over her face. Slowly, ever so slowly, she turned her head toward Jack. Her mouth moved. Last stop. Is yours. He staggered back, turned to run. But the door he came through was gone. Just a blank wall and fog, choked windows. Jack moved forward, car to car. Each was filled with passengers, unmoving, watching, their heads slowly following him, necks creaking like old wood. Then he saw one, third row from the end, his own face. Same coat, same trembling hands, same wide, horrified eyes. Jack screamed. And the train lurched, not forward, not backward, just somewhere else. The world tilted. Jack felt weightless, then heavy, then stretched thin across time. He stumbled through the train, doors opening as he approached, locking shut behind him. Through the windows, he saw visions. A conductor crushed beneath a derailed coal engine. A young girl locked in a lavatory, screaming for a mother who'd stepped off the train and never came back. A soldier slumped over a telegram, mouthing a name he couldn't bring himself to say. Each window a memory, each car a tomb. And still, the train moved. Jack finally reached the engine room. The door was warped, covered in growth. Fungus, rust, something older. Inside, a man. fused to the control panel, burnt to charcoal, but still whole, as if the fire had refused to finish its work. His hands clung to a lever, fingers melted into the metal, his head turned. Slowly, sockets burning with yellow flame. He spoke without lips. "Too late, son, too late. Next stop's yours." And the train began to scream. Not brakes, not steel, something deeper, like the earth itself rejecting it. A sound that scraped the soul raw. Through the front window, a station appeared, whole, gleaming, gas lamps flickering, uniformed porters standing tall. The same station, number 109, should have reached in 1924, but it wasn't a vision. It was real. Jack understood then. This wasn't a ghost train. It was the train, caught in a loop, repeating its final ride, a wound in time that never closed. And now he was part of it. Jack doesn't remember getting off. One moment he was watching the station approach. The next, he was lying on the ground beside the old tracks. No train, no fog. Just the whisper of wind through broken glass. His recorder was beside him. Battery nearly dead. The tape played static. And the sound of a distant whistle. He drove home. But he didn't sleep, because at 3:17 a.m., he hears it. Every night, a whistle in the distance, and some nights, it gets closer. You've been listening to the Grave Digger's Dark Chronicles, one of many tales unearthed from the places people forget. If you feel the chill of cold steel in the night, if the whistle calls your name, remember what you heard here, and don't answer. Well, what did you think of this tale? Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Grave Digger's Dark Chronicles. We ask that you please support our channel by going to buymeacoffee.com/newworldpodcasts and buy us a coffee. This helps us to bring you better stories without advertisements and sponsorship ads. If you would like our show to stay free, please help us by donating. Until next time, traveler, the silence of the cemetery hides untold horrors beneath its surface.